Thank you for inviting me for this conference and to hear everyone and to be able to share my experience also. So I am not just talking about minor forest produce. I'm basically talking about the corporation as it was in Kerala and what was, it's about a year and a few months back that I took over, and what was the situation and then and how it has turned up now and how we are progressing. So I'd just like to share it very briefly with you as to how a corporation in a small state is being run. I have been hearing others also, they have large corporations, big land with them. Our situation is a bit different. So let me just go into it. The Kerala Forest Development Corporation was set up in 1975, and it is a partnership between the central and the state government. We have just about 10,000 hectares with us, and most of it is reserve forest. We have taken it on lease from the forest department. We have about 6 divisions coming under the KFDC, and we have a staff strength of permanent staff strength of about 150 people. But more importantly, we have about 600 families, which are the communities which are with KFDC and completely dependent on KFDC activities. And these communities which came to Kerala were basically the Sri Lankan repatriates. If you remember, there was a Shastri Srimavo Accord under which the Sri Lankans repatriated to our country. And these settled in our forest areas, and therefore we have to cater to their needs also. So you can understand that while we have a very small land, we have a huge community depending on us being able to cater to their needs and to be able to ensure that they are financially and socially viable also. And that's a challenge. So let me just tell you that when I joined, our situation was really horrible. We were in a condition where there was no money. Even the salaries of our staff was not paid. From 2013 onwards, we had not paid the retirement benefits of people, the salaries of the revised salaries that were there, nothing was paid. And we had not been able to pay the gratuity, the workers, medical benefits, the bonuses, nothing was paid. And that was the situation that I had joined under. And I myself did not get my salary for 3 months. So that was the condition that the corporation was in. So if you look at it, we slowly started working on it, and we have turned around the whole corporation. And if I just go back to that, how does it move? Sorry. Ye wala? Okay. Ye upar wala? Okay. Okay. Thank you. This is the back, huh? Sorry. Okay. So I was telling you that was the situation of the KFDC. But from October of 2021, we completely made a changeover and things became very different. But also let me tell you that at the time that I had taken over, we had a loss of about 6.5 crore, and we also had outstanding payments to be made to the tune of 7 crore. And we were in a situation where we were not being able to pay anything. So some of the few things that we did to say, and this is the sort of expenditure revenue statement we had, that every year we were limping actually, literally, that even the profits, that most of it was lost, and even the profits that were there were just in a few lakh rupees. So we were just limping along. So how exactly what we did this year was we made a operational profit of 6.34 crore after making all our expenditure. That's the amount of money we did get as a profit. So we made all our payments. In fact, I'm so happy to announce that we have taken care of all our debts. We have completely removed all our losses, and we are now poised for absolute growth. And we are looking forward to something like 20 to 30 crore profit this year. So what are the existing bottlenecks I'd like to share with you? That we have large plantations of eucalyptus also, but we have something in Kerala called the Selling Price Act. So that determines the exact price at which you can sell eucalyptus. You cannot sell it at a rate lower than that, even if you are a corporation. And that price had been fixed so high that for the past many years, we were not being able to sell our eucalyptus. So one of the first things we did is that we ensured that the Selling Price Act was reduced and we made it a market price. And that was, we got the government orders for it. And that completely opened that bottleneck. It finished off that bottleneck and we managed to sell a huge amount of our eucalyptus. And that actually was a turning point where we could actually manage that. The other thing is that as I was showing you the previous statement, our financial statement, there was a lot of wasteful expenditure which actually resulted in the fact that we were just struggling. So that is one very important thing that we did. We completely controlled our expenditure and ensured that we had enough money for taking care of our other activities. Again, we have a strange situation where our MFPs that we call are things like cardamom and pepper, etc. And the reason behind it is, as I told you, that when the Sri Lankan repatriates had come back, they were growing cardamom, etc. In the forest areas. And therefore, as per the FC Act, people have been asking me that question, how do you do it? As per the FC Act, the rule position is such that prior to 1980, if an area was being cultivated with cardamom or pepper, etc., we can continue to do it till the lease period is existing, that is till 25 of this coming 2025. And therefore, about 100 hectares of cardamom can be cultivated with cardamom, and that's how we are cultivating cardamom. But what was happening is that very poor yield was there, and it was a lot of pesticides, fertilizers being pumped into it. So that's what we are trying to do, and that is where we try to relate to the minor forest produce. We are trying to improve the quality. So what we are saying is that while the yield may be less, the type of money we get out of it from the quality that we produce is what matters really. So we've made it completely organic, we have made it wildlife friendly, and we are branding it such. As the speaker before me said, that it's very important to make a brand name. So that's what we are trying to do. We are making a brand name and then trying to improve the quality and then sell it. We are also trying to get various other products also. For example, we have sandalwood oil, sandalwood powder, etc. We are trying to get that and market that also. Again, previously we were selling these products only locally or through our small eco shops. Now we are trying to go on the online platform, modernize, and try to find markets through online platforms. And I have been sharing those also, that we're trying to sell these products through Amazon, etc. We've got a very good response. We're also looking for exports now, and we're hopeful that that will also materialize and will give us good funds. The other thing that we are doing is that the ecotourism, we have about 6 sites which come under ecotourism with us. We are very, and I being from the wildlife background, I am very concerned that it has to be very eco-friendly and very, very pro-conservation, whatever we do. So our footfall is very low, and we ensure that quality is given, and therefore, what we've done is, we've done carrying capacities for all these areas so as to ensure that the footfall is actually staggered and spread over the period. We've also done things like on the weekends, we have high rates where we are ensuring that people come, pay hefty amounts. But during the weekdays, we completely lower it, the rates, so that people who can not afford these type of prices are also having the opportunity to come to our areas and to avail the beauty of our natural landscapes. And all this work is done through the communities, as I told you that they are the Sri Lankan repatriates who are doing it. So we do this work through them, and they are the ones who benefit out of it. The same thing about the cash crops also, because they are the ones cultivating. What we do is that we are not making estimates and saying something, a particular work is being done for a particular item. We get our communities to do the whole work, and that amount which is there, we take it and transfer it to the bank account directly. So that is how the whole community is benefiting from it, and that is how we are making it very sustainable, the whole work that we are doing. So again, as I told you that these are some of the things we did, that we ensured that our eucalyptus is being sold at market rates. We are also trying to ensure that all our cash crops are organic, wildlife friendly. We have superior marketing now. We are creating a brand name. We are also having high quality tourism. All our infrastructure, we are upgrading it, again in an eco-friendly manner, so that the quality of services that is offered is much better. And that's another point I would like to say, that while our ecotourism is flourishing because of our beautiful landscapes, the problem is that we are not trained in the hospitality field. And that is something very important. We don't know how to do good housekeeping, how to keep places neat, how to ensure that our bathrooms are clean. So that is something that I think is very important, and that is something I wanted to share. Probably we should all look into it and ensure that the hospitality sector that we are offering is of top quality, and it is like all the, the best hotels that are going to, even though they are low scale, etc. But these are some things that we should ensure for visitor satisfaction especially. So that's another thing I wanted to share. So again, the revival measures that we've taken, as I said, was expenditures, that we have controlled that very much. We are training our staff, as I said, for this hospitality sector, for example, we are training our staff how to be good with the hospitality sector. We are training them through 5-star hotels. So we are getting people to train what exactly is good housekeeping, what is good service, so that sort of, experience is given to our visitors. Again, as I said, that doing timely activities, making payments through bank transfers, that is transparency, is something which is very important, and we are taking care of that also. We are trying to ensure that whatever work we do is done with a scientific basis. So we are not doing it just on our own. We have roped in a scientific institute, which is giving us full technical support and giving us certifications, so that we say that whatever we are doing is certified and is actually being done in a conservation friendly manner. As I already said, that we have completely stopped application of all pesticides, inorganic fertilizers, etc. And we have rebranded our product as Vanopahar, and we are now selling it through the Amazon platform. We are also selling it through TriFed outlets. We are selling it through our own eco shops, and we have now tied up with the Kairali Emporia. So all over India, there are many Kairali Emporia. So our products are going to be sold through them also. So this is how we are trying to increase our branding over the country and our visibility also. We are going green. Our complete areas we are converting into green with green technology. We are trying to ensure that only solar energy is used as far as possible. So that is the way we are trying to sell even our ecotourism, that it's responsible, it's green, and therefore your visit will, it is not only from a point of money making. We are not so concerned about that. It is because people like to see beautiful places. And if they do it responsibly and they do it in a way that benefits the communities, that's the best way that we can offer a service to them. We have again become very modern. We have opened a new website. We have a Twitter handle. We have a Facebook account as well as Instagram, and we post on it regularly. And as I already said, that we are selling through Amazon, and we are also trying to globally export our sandalwood oil. The other two very important points that we are doing is that we are trying to get cultivated honey in all our areas through the communities. And that is one point I wanted to say, especially in this particular topic about MFPs. One important point is we do not have any scientific control about the type of or amount of material we are collecting. And we must remember that all the MFPs that are being produced is not just for human consumption. It's only the surplus that we should think about taking. Basically, all MFPs belong to the forest, they belong to the wildlife. And we cannot take away more than that and brown up our forests. So please, all our corporations, we should look into that part, that are we having some sort of a carrying capacity study for even the removal? When are we removing? What are we removing? That's something which is very important. And that is why we are not wanting to remove honey from the forest. Instead, through the communities, we are going to produce honey and market it through our branding that we are having. And one very important point before I finish the thing is that we are actually looking for green funding. So that is one of the new projects that we are reaching the finalization. where there are various companies who are giving us money to keep the area green and make it greener still. So we are going to get money not for extracting, not for producing anything, but for keeping our areas green. So that is something that is very new and probably the first time that we would be doing it, and it's at the last stages and we will be implementing that. That is something I would like to share that maybe it would be good for everyone to look at, so that we keep to the point that how do we make money while keeping our areas green and ensuring enough funding comes. And the last thing is that all our efforts, most of the money goes towards our the economic needs of our communities, how to better their lifestyle. We have implemented such things like tailoring training for driving, etc., so that people's dependence on forests reduce and they can go out and work in other sectors also. Another point about the morale, which I keep saying, that I saw that our forest staff's morale is very poor. We must look at it. What is it that they require? We should really improve their service conditions, ensure that they get timely promotions, they are happy with their work, and they feel satisfied with the way the management is treating them. So that's a very important part of our work also, and that we keep it as a very high priority in our corporation. So one last point that I have to say is that how do we look at it? Because as I told you that we have very less land, so what do we do? So that is something that we really need to work on as to how we have to expand our land, how we would want to share it with the Kerala Forest Department, how we would like to take more lands from them, and lands that are that we have actually regenerated and we don't want to use it any further, how we give it back to them. That is something that we should really keep looking at and have a dynamic way of exchanging our lands and keeping them in such a way that we keep it green, we keep it for conservation, but take lands which can be utilized for generating funds also. So thank you. I'd like to just say one more point, which may be a bit controversial. We should look into the fact that whether does a corporation need to exist along with the forest department also, because there are a lot of times where there's an overlap of the work that we do. Ecotourism is done by them, done by us too. Extraction of timber is done by them, done by us too. What's the need? And is it very important that we must produce products and goods to be able to sell it to others? Is it really important to do that? Or is it that we just need to take a little bit of the surplus, which is possible to be extracted, and then market it? So these are some things that we should really think about very seriously, and not that we need to have a corporation for its existence alone. Thank you.